Hi friends, this is a video which shows one-day trip to Ujjain starting from Bangalore. So it was an early morning flight and we got to also witness sunrise, the beautiful sunrise from the flight. So it was just a mesmerizing, blissful morning to get started. So the flight was at 6:20 in the morning and it was a 2-hour journey. So we reached Ujjain at around 8:20, Devi Ahilyabai Holkar Airport, and it was one of the cleanest city of India. And from there we immediately headed to Mahakal, which is like one of the Jyothirlings. So this is the Mahakal corridor. It will take hardly 1 hour from Indore to Ujjain. So we had pre-booked the cab earlier with some research, so hence we immediately headed to Ujjain. So Mahakal corridor will be like a 1 kilometer from the main entrance to the temple. So on the way we have Lotus Pond, Sapta Maharshi Mandal, and then many other deities which is adorned in the beginning of the corridor, like Ganesha, Subramanya, Kartikeyan, and Triveni Museum you get to see in the entrance itself, at the entrance itself. So just spend some time over there. Usually people take a visit in the evening to see the nice lighting and enjoy the delicacies in the evening, but we had planned to visit in the morning itself. So from there it's almost a 1 kilometer walk, enjoying the divine stories and seeing people around, the Swachhata Karmacharis doing their work, dancing to the tunes of the Lord Shiva mantra, which is getting played loudly. And it all starts with Markandeya's story, and then KalBhairav, and we also get to see Chandramauleshwar, who's like getting Shiva getting ready with Chandra and heading to the procession for his wedding. And we also see Khandoba, which is like Marathi deity. And there are 3 Devi statues on the way. We get to see Ravan lifting the Kailash Parvat, and Neelakanta, which is like Samudra Manthan time. And the first temple could be Bharat Mata Mandir, which is nearby. There are RO drinking water stations and free of cost foods. Bhasmarati is very prominent here, and because we missed the Bhasmarati in the morning 4 a.m., which needs to be pre-booked for 2 to 3 months prior, but there was a technology-based AR/VR darshan that we could get for 150 rupees, which is like a 4K video. And there's a building which is completely dedicated. If people are interested, they can get franchise also. There are almost like 9 temple darshan, each starting at 150 rupees, but I took only for Mahakal at that point in time, and it was like an 8-minute video where they will show the demo starting from the Big Bang theory, the black hole concept, and how the universe began, along with the 3:30, how the temple door opens, how the water is taken from the Shipra river and Abhishek to Nandi happens, and then to Lord Mahakal, along with the mantra ghoshas and Panchamrita Abhishek, including the Naivedya, and the complete Bhasmarati will be visible very very clear in a 3D form, and it's a must to experience. For sure it has to be experienced. And from there it is like just the 8 minutes, but it was so entangling that we couldn't immediately come out of that whole 3D experience. It went on for a couple of more minutes to relax and then just remember what all we watched in that 3D video, how it's just one Nashwar that finally we began. And from there we headed to deposit our mobiles, because in the temple, main temple, there will be completely, it's a no mobile space, so you'll have to deposit your mobiles One thing to remember is do not switch off the mobile, and whoever has deposited, the same person has to go and collect the mobile back. Just do a face match. From there we'll head to towards the main entrance, and this is one of the underground Jyothirlinga, which is like Dakshinamukhi. Almost you got to walk around 10 minutes from the main entrance to the actual temple. This is the only Jyothirlinga which is like south facing, and the rest all are like east facing lingas. And probably it's said to have the Shiva appeared in the form of Mahakal to save Ujjain from the enemy, and the Puranas also mention that it's Prajapita Brahma who established this temple of Mahakal. Inside the temple there is mobiles are not allowed, so these are a couple of stock images that I have used to see how Mahakal looks like inside the temple. And this temple is also known to be built in 6th century by Kumarasena and reconstructed in 12th century by King Udayaditya. And further in 18th century, probably the Maratha commander Ranoji Shinde renovated it. As it is a self-originated linga, divine powers, it derives the power on its own, and it does not require any mantra shakti for the power, is what they say. And Nagachandreshwara is something which is open only to the public on Nagapanchami day, and it remains shut down throughout the year. With divine darshan and blessings of Lord Mahakal, we come out of the building and head to our next destination. On the way back, you also get to see Panchamukhi Hanuman statue, and just come through the Bharat Mata Mandir itself. Next, we head to one more Shakti Peetha, one of the 51 Shakti Peethas, which is like Harasiddhi Mandir. It is said that Sati Devi's elbow was fallen down here when Shiva was lifting her half-burnt body from the yajna. So though these temples you see, it's very divine, and 2 or 4 pillars of lamps are built by Maratha kings during its renovation in 18th century. These are lit generally during Navratri, Shivratri or Deepavali and other occasions. So on the streets of Harasiddhi Mandir, you also find fresh guavas, lassis and rasmalais, which is a must try, and some memorable gifts that you can take back home. So this was like the streets of Harasiddhi Mandir in front of the temple. And then we immediately headed to Ma Gadkalika, which is another mandir, which is a Shakti Peeth, and it's just nearby, 1 to 2 kilometers from there. So it's also in the history, it's also said that they offer lemon mala for this Devi, and it's like the shepherd boy who prayed Kalikamba after his marriage. He was blessed directly to become a great poet, Kaviratna Kalidasa. So his name is associated with Kali Mata, which is like this Gadkalika only, and his works like Meghaduta, Kumara Sambhava, Abhignana Shakuntala are something which is unmatchable, and through this blessings of Gadkalika is where they have Kaviratna Kalidasa has become very popular. And it is also believed that lips of Sati Devi was fallen down here, and it is one of the 51 Shakti Peethas. On the way back, we head to Ramghat, which at times also boatings will be available as a tour on Shipra river. And then we head to the famous KalBhairav Mandir. It is probably said that the KalBhairav has it's a temple which has many mysteries which are impossible to be decoded even today, even though many governments, including the NASA, has done many excavations around the area. He is actually the protector of Avantika Puri, the earlier name of Ujjain. Devotees usually offer flowers, kumkum, and sometimes the pines. Even the Madira was something which was like very surprising to see, and this is something which is like has been a mystery to decode where exactly the god drinks this, how the god drinks this Madira. So there is no other path which goes out of this temple. So this has been a mystery altogether. All over these temples, if you see Maratha kingdoms, that pillar of lamp will always be seen wherever they have done their renovations. And it was quite a very nice place to see. A lot of places that you can take back home, things that you can take back home, like the Kaldand, the Rudraksh, and some gifts for your kids. And there were nice guavas and cucumbers and some papad being sold. So we just had that, and then we could look at some camels also on the way. So it's also believed that we should visit KalBhairav Mandir first, but it's okay. I mean, depending on your schedule, you can also visit that. From there, we headed to Mangalnath Mandir, which is also said to be the Janmasthala of Mangal Graha. Then it's according to the Skanda Purana, and it was quite a lengthy queue there. We could also see some Hanumanji statue and Shipra river, and Prithvi Mata Mandir was also there. And whoever does have some Mangal dosh, it is believed that if they come to visit this temple and then get they can places, and from there it's on the way that we headed into Sandipani Ashram. It was a nice warm welcome with bowls of red flowers, red roses, petals. And this is the place where Krishna and Sudama had their schooling in Gurukul under Sandipani Maharshi. And it's a very beautiful ashram with which displays the 14 vidyas that Sandipani imparted to Krishna, Balrama, and Sudama, and many of his friends. The ashram walls are very well decorated with the art form of how many vidyas and what are the kind of highlights during that the learning during that 14 vidya dharana. And it's a place where you can just sit for some time, relax, and then just get your cave. You have kids along, you can also teach them how the previous Gurukul system used to be, as against the kind of schooling that we have in today's world. And it's just a place to sit and relax for some time. And it also has a kind of corridor which showcases some 64 Vidya forms as well, right? So 64 types of Vidya that Krishna learned. So a nice place. It also has Gomti Kund, which is like said to be like if Sandipani Guruji used to go for a long distance and get the water for his puja. So Krishna got the Gomti river inside the ashram premises only. So this is what is the Gomti Kund, and the 64 art forms is displayed here. There are some eateries around, so you can also have some nice snacks there, munch on some nice snacks. And I could locate some squirrels on the way, so I just tried capturing their play here. It was a rejuvenating one, because usually in cities we don't find squirrels. So this was like a must capture during the visit to Sandipani Ashram. And all the walls are decorated with Krishna Leelas, starting from his childhood till the whole Mahabharata, depicting Bhagavad Gita and all that. So that is very nicely depicted on the walls of the ashram. And there are nearby big statues of Krishna built where they all did their schooling, and corridors are decked up with Krishna and Balrama and Sudama's the childhood days. And I could also spot some elephant there, which is like feeding on some bananas and papayas. So it was a nice gesture from people around. And final one was Chintamani Ganesh on the way, and this also had a lot of art forms on the walls, and there were like streets had some laddus and sweet stalls with some flower garlands and all that. And finally it was a day off, called from morning sunrise at Bangalore till the evening sunset on the Ujjain streets of Ujjain, heading back towards Indore. So in a day, all that we could cover, because we had pre-booked a cab from prior, so we could cover some 8 to 9 places, and then we headed on and then just checked into Sayaji. So it was a nice must-visit place. Hope this video helped you plan your next Ujjain trip to Mahakal. In case you have covered any of the places during your full day trip, do type them in the comment box section.